What do you do when life throws you a curveball? I thought I'd make this video, and this will be unscripted, just because what you do when life throws you a curveball is something I'm sort of dealing with right now. I don't want to go into what my curveball is, that's not the issue. We can all get curveballs in life, but if you imagine your worst case scenario of something to happen to you or your family right now, and then multiply that by 10 and then double it, that's kind of what it feels like right now. So obviously I'm very urgently had to think about what you do when life throws you a completely unexpected curveball. You can't really do much about the curveball itself. And I would sort of share what the curveball was, but it's not my story to tell. And yeah, that doesn't matter. You know what I mean when I say that life can throw you a curveball. It could be, sudden unemployment. It could be a serious sort of health issue that you're diagnosed with. It could be the end of a relationship. It could be bereavement. It could be any one of those things or others that you weren't expecting. So what do you do when you're thrown off balance by some devastating news? You can't escape it. Certainly not in my case. So it's just some random thoughts, because I've sort of been processing not only the thing that's happened, but processing my response to it. And I guess some people could hit the bottle and start drinking, but I don't drink alcohol. I haven't done for 7 years. I used to before that, and I'm really glad to be free of that, so I have no intention of going back to that scenario. I've got a sort of what I think is a added benefit, that I don't drink caffeine either, because I found that caffeine really made anxiety worse. So for me, I don't have that magnification of the anxiety. It wouldn't do that for everyone necessarily, but that's what it did to me. So I think what I've been doing is just most days, not every day, but most days, just been analysing my response to our current situation. And there's the sort of animalistic responses of fight or flight. Those are the two that people talk about, but there's actually a third one, which is freeze. You can get a freeze response. You see it in animals as well as the fight or flight. And in humans, and I think that tends to be my response to some things. Yeah, sometimes a fight and sometimes a flight. But I think my more common response to trouble is freeze. And it's possibly one of the more difficult ones to get out of, and not healthy really. So as I've analysed that, I realised that life has to go on. Yeah, the freeze response it's not a great response. It sometimes just happens. It's beyond your control. That is your psychological response to a difficult situation. So what I'm trying to do is just monitor that, notice it. But then, whatever happens, life has to go on, even if bereavement is the thing you're facing, and you think life's ended, even if life's not your life, but someone close to you. But the daily mundane things kind of have to carry on. So I've been trying to just think each day, just do one thing, because the freeze response would lead to me just sitting at home, sort of binge watching YouTube or streaming services or something, and just trying to escape, or maybe escape into another world, a little video game or something. So I'm just monitoring that. I don't want to do that. I do a little bit of that because it does bring a bit of calm, and that's all right. I want to make sure I'm monitoring self-care. I want to make sure I'm functioning in some way to those around me, not to be so self-focused. I think in my case I've got a low tolerance for idiots. Low tolerance for idiots, stress, drama queens, confusion, unnecessary confusion. Obviously sometimes I get confused, but other people's confusion. I've also realised the high value of friendships. Someone you can just go for breakfast with, someone that you can be yourself with. If you want to talk about the situation, you can. If you don't, they don't force you to talk about the situation. They just let you be yourself. So I make time for those relationships, make appointments to meet for breakfast or go a walk or something like that. I think another thing I've done is sort of find some little practical jobs. There's always jobs to do at home, little DIY things and things that need fixing or sorting out. Generally they're not very exciting things, they're not things I want to be doing, but I could, if I decide I'm going to do one of those little DIY jobs or repair jobs, then that sort of sets the programme for the day. That prevents me from sitting in a chair and brooding and going further into a depression. It also means that some of the repair jobs get done. And there's something satisfying about ticking little bits and pieces off the list. The next thing is self-care. Need to think about self-care. What recharge, even when things are difficult and you're distracted, what things recharge or restore your kind of mental well-being and indeed your physical well-being. So like today, I'm walking, we feel stress, we feel grief, we feel sadness, we feel shock, we feel it physically in our bodies. And so if you begin to move and go on a long walk, you're moving your body and it allows your physical body to process some of the unpleasant feelings that you feel in your body as a result of the curveball. Very true of grief as well. If you're suffering a loss, moving, walking, exercising, it will help you process grief much more than sort of sitting in a chair and just going over and over the situation. I think engaging in other stories, so I'm definitely sure that certainly in the evenings I've probably found a couple of new TV series I've not seen, mysteries or detectives or whatever, and got into those stories. It's anything, not that you're trying to avoid the curveball situation and be in denial, but just something for a brief part of the day to lift your mind off the curveball and onto something else, even if it's a fictional TV story. Another thing is to realise that whatever it is you're facing, you're not the first person to have faced it, however difficult it feels. I mean, now you might not personally know anyone that's faced what you're facing, but other people have faced it. You could do some research, and this ties into the next thing, which is ask for help or seek out help. Most things in life, as humanity, we've worked out that when these difficult times and seasons in our life come, that people are going to need help. Hopefully as a society we care for each other, and so there's groups out there that can help with lots of stuff. And if you don't feel confident to kind of phone someone up or email or actually connect with someone. You know, we live in the internet age. There's a ton of information and help that you can just get as information, give you some sort of waypoints on your journey. Another thing is to just know that if the curveball is a curveball that's affecting someone very close to you, but it's not physically really affecting you, but someone you care about deeply, obviously you want to be a helper, you want to do the right thing, but also, especially if you've suddenly come into a position of being a carer or something like that, that's taking up a lot of your time, don't neglect to care for yourself. Anyway, that's just a few thoughts. So if, like me, your year has started with a curveball you definitely weren't anticipating, yeah, just do some of those things and sort of meditate on the situation, meditate on your inner state, and look after yourself, and just take it one day at a time. Breathe deep, take it one day at a time. You will get through it. Whatever the outcome, you will get through it. So I hope that's helpful. I've just wandered onto a golf course which does have a right of way for a footpath, but I've now lost the footpath. So I'm off to find my way out of the golf course without getting hit by a golf ball, hopefully. Anyway, if you found the video helpful, leave a comment in the comment section below, hit that red subscribe button and the little bell icon, and you get notifications of new videos, and I'll see you in the next video, whatever that may be about. And don't forget, it's 2020 Thrive, so you need to thrive. You will thrive in 2020 Thrive. You will.